course, is more helpful for the T side than it is for the CT side in order to try and get into one of these sites. But that HE grenade is devastating. It absolutely wrecks Imor and leaves a big chunk taken out of Xantares as well. As now Death doesn't quite realise the gravity of the situation, doesn't quite realise the damage that he's done. And further HE grenade from Mopos, and another frag will help clean up 2 more. And that utility that the CT side have purchased has just been absolutely fantastic.
How is he still alive? How is he still finding kills? How is Death able to get 2 from all of that and survive the round, George? No. He's just playing with them. Playing with his food through the smoke, and that's crazy. That is crazy. But it certainly assists Movistar as they find the first. Mopos a huge factor in that one as well, bailing his teammate out with the HE, with the P2K. And now, Eternal Fire with the 4-spy. Gone for the VERTIGOs, no scouts in this one. Obviously no bomb plan to assist with like the Galeals maybe. But we'll have to make do with what they've got here. No utility to use though. It's just going to be all about this aim from the Eternal Fire side. See if they can pick up an opening or 2, maybe snowball around from there with salvaged weapons. That's really what you got to be aiming for. And already with Alex, he's down to 50. There could be potential for them to just get a quick cheeky body spam onto him and almost through the corrugated wall there. Almost finds one, but Mopos is the one who gets an opening kill. He's looking for more as well. This MP9, he's forcing them back, just running and gunning. And he's done pretty decent damage as well, and they're going to try and rebuttal Eternal Fire. They don't want to give this one up just yet.
I don't think they're going to have much choice in the matter, Dan, to be honest with you. Because there is a flank coming in from Alex, but it's actually Calix who's way quicker on the draw. 2 shots with the Deagle, maybe 3 on the cards, potentially. Fortunately, it has been resulting in Issa getting taken down. The bomb is also in a bitty difficult place. And in the end, Davig sorts the job out. If you want a job done properly, do it yourself, Dan. And Davig takes matters into his own hands and sorts out the round. Gets that 2-0 start, which should now commensurately lead into a 3-0 start. That's the nature of the beast. Because of the pistols being purchased up here by Eternal Fire.
I want to try and make it work again. I mean, obviously no armor this time or anything extra, really. They're just happy to see what they can find. I mean, I say happy to. It's the sort of only option here as some pies. He's just going to ransack them towards mid. He's pillaging them for the kill reward. And already, I think Xantares is dead. There you go. Alex with the nade. All is up off the back of Mopos' nade. They must have had an idea, an inkling of something in that corner. And that was clean, quick, efficient from Movistar. Not a single player going down.
Those are the rounds you need. If you want a good start to the half, that's the round you need. And now we're going to see it again, Dan. That cheeky little bonus round. MP9 time. FAMAS time. 2 M4s in the equation, which is quite nice to have, I suppose. But mostly the MP9 time is the ones that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on. Sunpius and Mopos have got a lot of weight on their shoulders with these 2 particular weapons, and they're going to need a lot more. Woxic. They go for the first shot with the AWP. It's good that they've managed to get the AWP up here for him because, well, Vertigo is an AWP's paradise at many times, especially on the CT side. You can be extremely influential with that particular weapon, and I'm looking forward to seeing whether Sunfires can do exactly that here on the first half when he gets that ball rolling. Unfortunately, the ball is now very quickly rolling for Movistar Riders as they found the first frag onto Issa and got away with it as well. That's the big problem. Davig is now into safe keeping. Death's just holding his ground here at the back of the pillar on the B site. Now got assistance from Sunpius, who's keeping his eyes peeled towards middle as well. So providing additional assistance. But unfortunately, there's going to about to be 5 or 4 players, stacking their way into this B site. Sunpius will get no forewarning. And the MP9 is not very good at that particular range. The FAMAS comes out and finds the 1 frag onto Imor. It needs to bail himself out, and he can't do so. Just not enough time to stay alive. Now it's going to be the 3 versus 3 retake, Dan. Alex on his way on in. Just going to go mega aggressive. May even look to try and boost over the top of this smoke. Self-boost works, finds 1, tags up the 2nd, gets away with it. And now in comes Davik, looking to try and do a very similar thing from a very different angle. Finds that frag that he wasn't able to get the first time around. And now Zantares, 1 versus 3 in his own right. Davik low on HP, but Alex and Mopos are not. They'll be looking to try and take the fight with him, and the bomb is still yet to be planted. This leaves such a difficult position for Zantares to be in, and finally catch a timing window in which he's able to punch in those digits. But now, yeah, Alex is actually too interested in going in on this, but in the end, when the peak comes, they'll wait it out. They're quite happy to let him have the plant to make sure nothing goes wrong inside the round, make sure they can absolutely stabilise with 3 players staying alive, collect the AWP as well for good measure, and that, as they say in Italy, not Spain, is bellissimo. I suppose in Spain I'd just say it was bueno.
Muy caliente.
Isn't that just very hot?
Yes, it was a very hot round.
I suppose the Eternal Fire is also quite hot.
This is hot.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Bring back YouTube Rewind and Will Smith.
No. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the pain.
It was worth it for the meme content, if nothing else.
Guns out once more though for Eternal Fire, and yeah, I mean, I guess you could say Fire's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Hopefully going to find this round though, as Alex gets an opening, but a nice little rebuttal from the double eyes. Issa and Imor able to pick up the pieces and get a nice little opening over towards his A site, leaving it up to Sun Pius in defense. With that AWP towards the back of site, could still find some success if Eternal Fire do want to push forwards, but right now they're just buying their time, waiting to see what's going to happen, because they've still got a minute on the clock to play with. They don't have to push in just yet, but it looks like they sort of want to. Sumpire is still the only man defending. The Molotov is going to go in, but it's not going to affect him, really. He's still got a great sightline towards his player, Calix. Fires off early. A little bit of jiggle from the Turkish man. Does bait out the shot, but on the second time basket, Sumpire isn't going to miss. Voxic is there, takes him down. Des tries his best. He can only put it into a 1v2, and actually the bomb being denied. Davig, a 1v1. This is winnable. Woxic has to get this plant down. 30 seconds on the clock. He's got time to play with, but Davig is going to have him dead to rights. He's going to try and recover this AWP as well. Can't get to it in time, but a 5th for the Movistar side. They're going to keep the ball rolling. I believe we may be getting a timeout here.
I hear the ticking, like someone's discussing something or a timeout's being called, and in the end, yes, Dan, you're right. Superhuman hearing. No hair to block the audio for you.
Obviously.
That's what it comes down to. That's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bald buff.
That's why the best owls are also bald.
Owls? Are owls renowned for their good hearing? Are they?
I think so. They have tiny ears, but very good hearing, I think.
Okay. I did not know that.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I'll have to fact check that one. If anyone in Twitch chat is a specialist
Get your
on
Instagram
owls,
fact checkers on that.
Yeah. What's the thing they do on Twitter where it's like, fact checkers have said that this tweet may contain false information.
Yeah.
Oh, fact checkers have...
Just a meme. It might
memery
contain
at this
false
point.
information.
Do you, Dan? I'd hope you were the truer, and if I'm alright being the sinner if you're the truer, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I try my best to be a truer, but we can't always be a truer. Sometimes you do just fall into the ways of a sinner.
That's true.
Right now, though.
Never have truer words been spoken.
I think Moppet is the truer.
Definitely.
Likes his frags. He's going to be able to get the first. Actually baits in for Alex, who gets another couple. And this is another being round that needs to come through from the Movistar side. Woxic dealt with as well. Moppers actually finds 3 in that one. 6 on the board. Eternal Fire struggling to get anything going on this T side so far. You don't have another full buy though to come through, so potentially a little bit of opportunity here. But I think if you don't pick up this one now, if you're the Eternal Fire side, things start getting very, very sketchy for you. Excuse me. Things start getting very, very sketchy for you, and Movistar are going to be like 8-0 up.
Yeah, not least because of the scoreline, but also because of the finances that are about to get wildly out of control for Movistar Riders. That is brave. We'll go with brave. I don't really know what to think about that from Sun Pius.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real with you.
Doesn't work out.
If there was ever a time for Eternal Fire to win their first round, this will be it. think that locks it in there. That frag to the dome onto Mopos will pretty much be the sealant this round needed to be closed shut. Not really too sure what the intent was, really, from Sunpius and Deaths over towards B. They both went barreling on down, and both subsequently got fragged by Imor. Also, were both actually hit by the same flashbang, so they couldn't have been too far apart. Either way, Movistar Riders concede a bit of a silly round. I guess they were just thinking, well, everything's going right. Might as well see if this does too. I think they finally found their limit. Bit of limit testing inside of this round on Vertigo, but Eternal Fire. Doesn't matter how the round comes, it always feels good to get on the board. Voxic, Xantares, Issa, and Calix keeping all their weapons up as well. With the bomb plant, that's going to be huge financially speaking. Movistar Riders will just take a moment after losing their first round to just chat about what happened in that previous one, what they want to do now that things have gone wrong. What are Eternal Fire going to be doing in terms of the rest of the rounds now, and how can we adjust? That's mostly the conversation I'll be having, the adjustments that the in-game leaders want to make. Movistar Riders have actually been pretty good on their CT sides, all things considered. Over the course of the open qualifiers, when we commentated over their game, their CT side was definitely the highlight for me. Their T sides were good, but their CT sides were next to immaculate, and we saw that on Nuke, and we're already seeing it here on Vertigo. Admittedly, 3 of the rounds in which they've gone in so far have been because of the pistol, but even still, rounds are rounds, and you can't write them off the scoreboard just because they were because of the pistol.
Otherwise, there'd be no point playing the pistol. You know? Get what I'm getting at?
Some people want to remove it.
Yeah, well, they're crazy people. As Sunpius once again has his AWP in his hands. Obviously, we're able to put up quite a decent bank of cash in reserve during those 6 rounds, and you can see they still have a little bit in reserve here. Sunpius and Alex can definitely still get a buy up in the next round if they need to, but I don't think you're going to be seeing a full buy unless they keep a few rifles alive. And Sunpius already fighting an opening kill. Almost towards mid. His Deaths. He's in position in this little off angle as well. Catches Imor out, not expecting that position. Already a 2-man disadvantage. Make it free with a beautiful flash from Mr. Sunpius to assist. And now it's just Xantares and Voxic. Hoping for a brighter future, a better tomorrow. Just anything at all, really.
Doesn't feel very good, does it, after you win a round and then get clapped like this in the one thereafter?
Need to find at least some frags here.
There's a big flank opportunity here for Alex as well, but that HE grenade might just give up the ghost. And definitely, if that didn't, then the spamming through the smoke is going to give it up as well. So they'll know they'll be getting flanked sooner rather than later, I imagine. If not, just going to be defending Mopos, the first one through. Flashbang dodged expertly, but the frag not able to be found. Now, Alex will move in to clean up Xantares, leaving Voxic 1 versus 4. Already burning inside the Molotov, misses the shot, unfortunately, and Alex will be right on cue to find the 7th round for Movistar Riders. It goes quite some way, though. That one little round win that Eternal Fire were able to garner with the bomb plant in it as well. It's actually given them a fair amount of money, Dan. Look at the wealth they've got. They can buy out this round, even get an AWP. There was a fair whack on Voxic, and an even fairer whack on Issa. Spending, what, nearly $7,000 in one round here just to accumulate a good buy for the rest of his team. Team player. Team player Issa.
Love to see it. But don't want to see a 7-1. That just brings back all kinds of memories for different nationalities.
Yeah.
7-1. Not going to name which ones.
Forgot all about that.
I mean, it's... I know I'm going to be very hypocritical here, but... it doesn't annoy me when people say 7-1 and stuff and make the meme when neither the teams are associated
with the respective countries. Yeah.
I don't know, I just did that myself, so whatever.
Yeah. Oh well, Dan.
Haters gonna hate.
Self-awareness is at least part of getting past the problem. I will say though, it doesn't look like it's going to be staying 7-1 for very long. In fact, it might just be another goal here from Eternal Fire because they have been able to take down both Alex and Mopos. So that's 2 of the A site defenders taken down, and that brings Sunpius over from B in toward A now. He's going to be holding around the elbow side, keeping Ivy all very calm. utility so far just to chip one down has been good. Sunfire is able to get one back in return. He's going to anticipate more pressure to come on in, but it has yet to do so. So many smokes in his eyes, he's not even going to have an opportunity to find a chance at a frag here. Oh, okay! Through the smoke, absolutely lights it up, and now gets to the hot spot for the AWPer. Going to be one more around the corner. Issa's ready and waiting. Just manages to catch him out now. Death on his way in. Finds the emergent frag onto Issa, but that's going to be Calix, the next player standing. He's going to fake plant the bomb, not going to go for it right away. Death's appropriately not facing it, and now tapping it once more. I think Death realizes this. Time is of the essence. Now he has to punch in those digits. Calix finally doing so. Death has the angle ready and waiting for when Calix surely emerges into his crosshair. Easy 1 versus 2. Just keeps his patience. And that's the most important thing. Doesn't go peeking into any of those fake plants. Just holds his nerve because he knows that pros do fake.
Oh, man. Some pious. 3 kills from him. That is huge amounts of success inside the site when he shouldn't have really had anything to say for that situation. He makes it possible for his teammate, and luckily, Defs collects. There's now 8 on the board. It looked like Eternal Fire were locked in for a second, and George are going to have to try and make it work this time. They got the guns out again. The bomb plant helped with that situation. The extra $800 per player is a bit of a godsend for them. You can see at least they've chipped away on the Movistar economy from that round. There's not heaps of cash in reserve. They've not got massive amounts to play with, and Eternal Fire are still close to sort of pushing them over the edge. It might take another round, though. Woxic just Cyclops mode in around. This little boost for Imma could be a nice little opening in towards his B side if the Movistar players are not ready for this one. A few shots come through. Oh, the flashbang completely blinds him out. Luckily, I think everybody in the site was blind as well. And he's just going to hop up instead. Gets the kill onto David. That's a huge one to find. Looking for more, but Dex is still there. And he does manage to remedy the situation, at least slightly. Does go for a second as well to make up amends. Pius, though, holding the cross. Taras, if he wants to go for the bomb plant, he's going to get caught out. And Pius makes sure of that. How does he get the second as well with Calix pushing over the smoke? Pius has just hit a new level, and now it's Woxic alone against 2. He's going to try rotating towards his A site, but Movistar are going to hear this for sure. They're going to be ready to receive him. They'll have the welcome committee on station, on standby, and with 25 seconds on the clock. Do they push through and just try and take it down? Yes, they do.
Wow. That's absolutely mega from Sun Pius, but one person I've got to give a huge amount of plaudits to is Death. This guy is reliably going 2 for 1 over at that B bomb site. And admittedly, when you're the B anchor, your job isn't necessarily to multi-frag or to win the round by yourself. It's just to be consistent. It's just to get 1 frag at the very least to make it a winnable situation for your team. But he's going 2 for 1, 3 for 1 some of the time, bailing out his teammates, staying alive until his teammates are able to get to the rotation path on him every time Eternal Fire have hit B so far. And as a result, Eternal Fire are just facing such huge resistance, like bashing your head into a brick wall. Death is just on form. 3 players on the Movistar Riders side right now, all at 10 and 4. That's a very satisfying middle of the scoreboard currently for me, looking down that right-hand side. Also seeing 8 and 3 and 8 and 6. It's a really well-rounded fragging output from Movistar Riders. Everybody is contributing. Meanwhile, on the Eternal Fire side, the same story can't really be said because they haven't really got off the ground yet. They haven't taken flight and spread their wings. They're still looking a bit clipped and afraid to leave the nest, as Movistar have already eclipsed them by the round win total. There's no way that Eternal Fire can win this half now, just make it look respectable. And at the moment, the chances of that are even looking squanderously thin.
So many flashbangs, it was like a symphony.
Bang, 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 bang. Bonfire night all over again, but thankfully this time the only people on the bonfire is the effigies of Movistar Riders. Looks like the timeouts worked. Santaras went and told himself. You know what he said? You know what he said, Dan? I know exactly how it went. I don't speak Turkish, but I just know what happened. Santaras took the timeout 30 seconds as the in-game leader of the squad to discuss the strategy. And the strategy was, right, y'all hop in the backpack, I'm going to go kill.
Yeah.
Worked.
Yeah, it does work. He did go kill. And Movistar will have to hold off on celebrations for a 10th for now. Eternal Fire pick up a second. But remember, this is their map pick as well, Eternal Fire. Not a great start for them. I will say that. There's still time to remedy the situation. Get yourself a decent heap of rounds. I mean, if you can pull it back to 9-6, that would be stupendous. At least give you a little bit of breathing room in the sense of being able to make mistakes in that second half and still come back. I think if you're only able to pick up like 1 or 2 more in this half, you're going to have a super hard time with it. And we could be seeing something similar to the second half of Nuke. But for now, some bias. Not with the AWP. This time with an M4 is going to be looking aggressive towards mid. As Movistar put all their chips in on this round, they've got a pretty decent buy of it, 5 rifles. One of them is a FAMAS. That's for Mopos, but not a bad round all in all. But Calyx has already found an opening. That is Sumpires, who is obviously feeling very confident, but with the M4 can't get the kill found. It's Calyx securing that one and giving the Eternal Fire side a bit of a leg to stand on in this round.
I will say it does feel strange after seeing them win 9 rounds. Then only see them come out of this one with FAMASes and a really poor buy here for Movistar Riders. It does look increasingly like the Eternal Fire are going to be able to bring something back on this first half. Nothing here, needing to stand tall. He's done well at clutching a few of these rounds out before, but he needs Death's help. The HE grenades are not going to trouble him. He is just too far away. I think he and Death here would actually be well advised to go for the save, and that seems to be what they've called. Keeping these 2 rifles in play, whilst it may mean that there's not going to be a buy for Movistar Riders next round, irrespective of the save, it means that they've at least got some firepower, some potency, something to defend the sites with. I suppose that's better than nothing, right? Got to be thankful for every little advantage, every little bit that you can get in games like these, because Counter-Strike's a cruel mistress. We spoke about this before. It can change on a whim. It can change oh so quickly. A 9-1 lead can become a 9-6, and all of a sudden, people consider that to be a competitive half.
Especially when you head into that second half with the momentum on your side. Obviously, it would be, what, 5 rounds in a row if it ended 9-6 here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'd be pretty decent sort of... It's weird to talk about, but confidence for Eternal Fire. Just being able to feel like, okay, we had a rough start. Yeah, okay. Now we're into the groove of things. Now we can get things going our way. And we've been able to put Movistar under a lot of pressure in the end of that first half. Let's just keep going with that sort of same confidence. And really build up on this sort of comeback we've been able to muster up so far. And give it to them at the start of the second half. That's just what you need to do. But it obviously does rely on you finding a few more rounds here at the end of this half. Because right now it's still 9-3 and... I mean, it could swing either way. We could be seeing Movistar getting into double digits. We could be seeing Eternal Fire closing up to just a few rounds of deficit. But with Movistar saving a couple guns in that last round, Davig and Des will have the M4s. We'll just go for pistols around it. It should be a easier round for Eternal Fire, so 4 more than likely to come through.
It feels that way. It really does. The best chance they've had in some time to try and close this gap. And already they're going to make good on that first round. Or that first frag at the very least. They take the second off that as well. Good news is they took the M4 first, which is going to open up this B site for a lot of business. Mopos will just try and hold strong over towards the A site for now, but in reality there's not really going to be all that much happening or the CT side here. The plant going to go on in for Eternal Fire, and the round is done from that point forward. I think Davig will be well advised, like he was in the last round, to keep hold of this M4. I think for Sunpius and Mopos, if they want to go and hunt and try and steal one of these weapons away, then that would be advisable. But they're going to be able to get a buy in the next round regardless.
I think that most of it right now is just not giving up sort of fragments, giving these players more confidence. Immo does take down Moblin, but Davig with that M4, yeah, it's a nice weapon to hold on to. Some players actually find one with the Deagle, can't get much more than that though. But if Davig finds one more kill here, that'll be a nice sort of amount of kills to find around like this, just to manage the economy that Eternal Fire would have, but he can't get it. Issa takes him down, and Issa was really the star of sort of Nuke for that Eternal Fire side, at least in the first half. He's trying his best. So far, just 9 and 9, but still leading the way for his team.
So back to the business, back to the bite. If they would have been able to save Davig's M4 here, then we'd be seeing a lot more utility, for one.
Yeah.
And also, one less FAMAS, for two. So I suppose it's kind of important, really. I think Davig would have been a lot easier to hold on to that M4 if there was actually a Molotov that he threw. Threw it towards the bridge over underneath A, and it ended up bouncing off the side to A and then all the way down the elevator shaft. So that's not ideal. Thing that is also not ideal here is the two FAMASs, of course, but they are complemented by Sun Pius on the AWP, which is starting to feel like now for Movistar Riders is a pretty big prerequisite for how to win quite a number of rounds here. Either way, Alex is going to be the one to go for the first peak, and even despite Xantares having the superior weaponry and dodging the flashbang, Alex is still able to win the engagement. Now as he goes to round the corner again with more utility dropping in the faces of Eternal Fire. Issa is actually going to be wide open to his gaze any moment. In fact, the whole team could be, but Alex has more ambitious ideas. He's going to press through this smoke any moment to try and flank around behind the Eternal Fire side. Oh, it could be so well timed. It could be so perfect. Woxic may have caught a glimpse of it, but it's not going to be enough for now. He just needs his teammates to hold on for a little bit longer. He doesn't know if it's going to be feast or famine, and so far it's looking like feast. He's found the first. It's a delicious snack, and now he's got the second. Alex just doing God's work from behind, and he's kept it up for Imor, who's going to be instantaneously traded away. It's 10 for Movistar Riders. It's, again, exceptional amounts of patience, and also a tad of BM, just to make sure they know what happened to them.
A little bit of trolling.
I love it. I love a little bit of trolling. A little bit of flame.
I love BM. Give more BM in game. Get those
It makes it
best
spicy.
Yeah. You know, buy up all those annoying sprays. Use them as well. You know who I love for stuff like that is Menezi from Navi Jr.
Right.
He just spams sprays all the time. It's wonderful. Like I swear he just has like hundreds and hundreds of the easy sprays, and he's every time he's like, yeah, he just has like so many. And I remember watching him. It's just like every round he just, if he clutches around, it's just easy.
Hello.
It was great, but Xantares, maybe a little bit easy for him. Ooh. This is looking like Eternal Fire might be able to find a fifth on the board. Imma has found a second, but it's Issa who tries to go through the smoke. Maybe a bit of a bad call on that front, as he gives up the frag and from a 2-man advantage into just a 1-man advantage. But you can see over towards his B site the amount of space that Calix has been able to garner. He is so far deep. I don't think Movistar are going to have any idea about this position. They'll obviously know now they're inside of the site. Calix's position maybe to be expected now. It's Def's closest player. That nade goes deep and it does so much damage. Was that a double nade? It had to be.
It was, absolutely. Atomic bomb, actually, I think they dropped on them there because that was just nuts. 18 HP left for both players, landed on them both perfectly. Sun Pius is not going to be all that. Oh, he's going for the ambitious jump around, and unfortunately, Dan, it's tricky to wrap around. Even trickier to do it when you have to jump as well. Mob Boss 1 versus 4. We've seen crazy things in the past, but I feel like this is too far of a stretch. And it will be a 10-5 half. Movistar Riders ready to go for a quick break, I suppose, as we'll see you on the other side of this one.
The world burns down. We will stand together. We fight forever.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night and never day. Even when I wash the floor, the dust still comes. Keep on hunting for the bread. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm a light mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother. Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor, the dust will come. Keep on hunting for the prey. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother.
Lost that one.
Hello and welcome back. Eternal Fire. Down by 5, but being able to pick up a few rounds at the end of that half, George. They've still got a little bit of confidence behind them again, and a bit of a deficit to overcome. Immo's going to bring out the Julies. Love to see it.
Dual Berettas, always a fun time. We've seen it twice now.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time, admittedly, they weren't all that successful.
Well, they found 2 kills.
Well, we'll see if they're even more successful here. He's playing a nice little position with them. Wow, he doesn't even see them before he gets taken down. They just know the sixth sense. Thankfully, Alex is going to take them on. But Calix has been doing it all by himself with a USP. Come on, 2 guns are surely better than 1, as now Alex is going to have to try and spam a few players down. Can't even manage that. The opening into this round was looking absolutely astonishing, but now it seems to have all gone slightly by the wayside, unless Deaths has something to say about it. He and Woxic now engage in battle, and Mortal Kombat is won by Deaths. Finish them, Movistar Riders, 5-11.
Do you reckon Death's just dislocated his arm? Celebrating that one?
Yeah, yeah, like you showed me at halftime. Probably should provide some context there. Over the course of the break, Dan sent me something that was a video of a guy at a Super Smash Bros. Tournament celebrating so hard he dislocates his shoulder.
Yeah?
It's
That's
very
the life I
impressive.
want to be living, George.
Very impressive.
That's the life I want to be living. And I think we could all live that life. I think more of us should be dislocating our shoulders when we celebrate. Thankfully, he doesn't seem death's has because he's straight back into this next round. Unfortunately, Mopos has had his head caved in by a 50 cal bullet from Imor's Deagle. That's not enjoyable.
No. Negative. Not enjoyable whatsoever. But a big advantage for Eternal Fire. I mean, I suppose they can now try and use this little bit of extra space they've been afforded on the map to their advantage. Of course, the trade frag is going to come in at some point for Movistar Riders, or at least they're hoping it will. Just need to find the space to work with. Need to find the timing window to work with. Just clearing everything out. Being very diligent here for Movistar. It's good for them to do so, but you have to be careful, because as soon as you give that first indication you're on your way, Imor is going to drop a smoke, and he's going to deagle you forward, in and around it. Another frag for Imor, maybe? No, but Calyx will clean up. Now it leaves it up to just Sunpius and Deaths, who are going to Molotov off the site, give themselves some space to work with. Unfortunately, it doesn't dislodge Calyx, who is just going to run out of ammunition, but it's going to be enough to take down Deaths with the pistol thereafter. How is Calyx just being so strong at defending this B site? It doesn't matter. He was great in the pistol nearly, and this time is going one better. Does it all the way to bring Eternal Fire their 6th round. And again, all stands on Calyx, standing tall with the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's nailed it down, bringing it home for the country of Turkey.
Making amends for that pistol round. A Death's 1v3 stole that one away, but now Eternal Fire back on the board as 6-11. Still a 5-round deficit. Movistar, they're going to try and force buy again, and it's Tech 9. And I feel like every time we see Tech 9, there's just a 90% chance the round goes the way of the players with Tech 9s, and we'll see if that's going to be the case here. Not going to be a super aggressive rush to start things off. Movistar, they're just selecting to send Davig a little bit far forward. Just tag down to 50 ballinades, and he'll just back away. Movistar instead look to set their sights on that B approach. Right now, it's only Calyx really to defend. Has an MP9. And these Movistar players are going to start lurking forwards. Takes them all down, never mind, he's fully blinded, and Mopos' Tech 9 gets the opening. Imor, at least he's able to trade out, the gun's starting to rack up the frags, but it's still Movistar, and there's the Tech 9s! Deaths with 2, and now it's Imor alone against 3, and he can't do it. Movistar fight back, and what did I say, George? The Tech 9s, they're better than weapons, they're better than rifles. They're so absurd.
Am I back in 2015? Because it really feels like I am. I'm waiting for Fnatic 9 to come back. Oh, yeah, I can't believe what I'm seeing. The Tech 9s run rampant. I am shooketh by Movistar Riders here. They just roll into the B site with perfect flashbang on the first player onto Calyx, and it just gives them so much space to work with. Those Tech 9s thrive in close quarters, and when you get inside of a smoke and out of a smoke, just on the corner of them on the periphery, obviously you're going to find success in that instance, surely, right? Well, same to be said here. Does Eternal Fire have the Deagles this time? No, not a Tech 9 in sight. Obviously, I'll purchase those from the CT side. But you know what you can purchase? Probably should.
M4.
5-7. 5-7, better in every capacity. IMO. But thankfully they have got one frag here already. Montbon's taken down. Now an opportunity to try and get a few more. Expending so many bullets. Hailing through this smoke at the moment. Zantares with the only M4 inside of the round. Trying to do the damage as he's already done so far. Sunpius just bouncing inside the site. Ready for 2 players to emerge on through. He's only good for the one. Zantares grabbing one more. And it looks all of a sudden like this round is increasingly likely to fall out of contention for Movistar Riders. As Zantares steps onto the plate once again. Alex just bouncing around the side of the smoke. Desperately trying to stay alive. 4 HP is not enough. An Eternal Fire should just about have enough time to get this bomb.
Yeah, they do. Just 4 spy after 4 spy, George. Neither team able to get away with this one and sort of build up a good round sort of streak. Movistar, of course, they'll be happy if things continue this way because they've got the 5-round buffer, so they can just afford to keep trading back because they'll be the ones at 16 first. And now they're going to go for that 4 spy yet again. This time helped out by the bomb plant coming through. The extra $800 per player gives them rifles to work with. A scout for some pilots and just a Mach 10 for Mr. Mopos. As the scout already gets a tag. Woxic hit by that weapon down to 15. Needs to be careful. He backs away. Ooh. Tagged in the smoke. Zantaras who gets the opening. Once again with the M4.
Seemingly like the CT side has started to ramp up a bit here, Dan. They have awoken from their slumber. Eternal Fire have actually realised they're playing a game of Counter-Strike and they can get opening advantages. Starting to bridge the gap now, though. Of course, the gap's still going to be large because of the half-time score and then ultimately winning the round thereafter. But Zantares doing great inside of this round before getting taken down with 2 frags, one of which with the HE grenade. Now it's Woxic's turn to step up to the plate and bat. Unfortunately, Issa is going to take that bat away from him and swat it clean out the park as he takes down Deaths. But Woxic will take it right back as they work perfectly in unison for firing off for an 8th round. So, 4 rounds the difference, and moreover, the economy is trashed for Movistar Riders. They just don't have it to work with. Look, Davig, $1,900, $2,000 plus for the rest of everybody else on Movistar Riders, but this might come as a shock to you. That is not enough money in order to buy.
Yeah, Eternal Fire finally winning out in this sort of 4 spy war. And this will give them a few rounds here to close back, but obviously Movistar getting a couple there has inched them closer to 16, so the sort of margins for error are slim. That was bold from Mopos, and I mean, it almost worked out. I think he was just trying to bait in for some pies on that run boost, and I mean, they almost take down Calyx with Glocks. Not too far off. It might still be opportunity, but there you go. Oh, Jesus. Alex, calm down, my son. That was a little bit outrageous, as he gets himself 2 very quick kills with a Glock and an M4 as well to play with. This is still here, though. He wants to make amends. That nade doing good damage. David gets another with the Glock. Surely not George. Don't make this happen. Eternal Fire, you have to win this round out just for my own sanity. Please. You're up against a Glock and an M4. Maybe a salvage rifle.
They slipped by. Zantares didn't see, and I don't think he heard. They have completely slipped by Zantares. So as far as he's concerned, there's still some pressure inside the B site, and I think that's calling Woxic away. Look at the mini-map, Dan. We're on the move. Woxic's all the way out defending middle. Davig and Alex are both ready to go back in towards B now. They're just trying to install some doubt the minds of the Eternal Fire side, but they're not having it. Zantares is stood resolute. He's standing his ground, and they're ready to go. It's the site they're about to turn. Alex low piece of HP instantly dealt with. Zantares holds the spray just long enough to be able to clean up Davig as well. The aim punch on the armorless player is enough to bring the round crashing down. Unfortunately, that means that the freebies are now over. As the bomb plant... Not the bomb plant, sorry, the buy will be coming back in. So, bomb plant? I'm all over the place with that. But yes, the buy's back, Dan, which means it's not going to be smooth sailing for Eternal Fire here in round number 22.
Woxic bringing out the AWP as well. See that, but aggression over towards the B site. Okay. 1 for 1 initially. Immer does get traded. Calyx just has to back away, knows that, you know what, if he sticks around, probably not going to be good. We'll just keep this 4-on-4 for now. Maybe try and find an opening elsewhere in the round, as I'll just make sure the B side is at least still in the CT control. And Movistar are going to respect that. They're just going to wait and see what's going to lie in wait for the rest of this round now. With just over a minute 15 on the clock, Defs is starting to have a little bit of a lurk towards mid. Seeing what he can find, but he's actually going to set up a bit of utility. And now Woxic is not going to see anything, but that molly is an indication of what's to come. It forces him away from that Ivy position, and now he's going to have to take purchase inside of the site with Xantares. Brothers in arms. The Movistar actually commit off the back of that. They're going to resurge over towards this B site. 2 defenders in position. It's Calix and Issa ready and waiting, and Calix is going to be playing behind this board. We've seen it a couple times already with players getting spat down as they're going to push forward. Calix can't find the first one. Issa at least trades out for one. Not good enough, though, to hold an even situation. Movistar get this site, and they'll have themselves 25 seconds to get this bomb planted.
Bomb has been planted.
Six just holding the tight angle, hoping. And he can maybe catch a player crossing, but Xantares has already pushed. Xantares is already looking for a player. That flashbang not really blinding up Xantares, but he loses his teammate because of it, and now he's left alone in a 1 versus 3.
No.
But there's 2 very quick kills coming through, and Alex is now all that remains as he hides behind the wood board. Maybe Xantares might put a few rounds through it to check, but right now he's seen if there's going to be a peek off the back of his tap, and these steps are going to alert Alex. He knows that he's not on it, and when he hears him going back to the bomb, he will peek and catch Xantares. Not ready for the fight. 13 for Movistar. The first gun round goes their way, and Eternal Fire sit 4 behind. And they have not much cash, George. I mean, Xantares walks it, you think, okay, that's pretty decent. Then Issa, Immor, Calix just have nothing to play with, and Eternal Fire, rightly so, will call the tactical here.
Timeout time. Time to time out. As Eternal Fire, yeah, like you say, rightly calling a tactical timeout here. I will say, one thing I do find rather amusing is Movistar Riders have such a good read on whether people are faking or not. Or at least that's part of the strategy that they've managed to keep trying to employ here. In the first half, you'll remember there was a clutch that was pulled off. I think it was Davig, as a matter of fact, or Deaths who was able to pull it off. One of the Ds, either way.
Yeah.
Where there was a fake plant coming in from Calix, not once, but twice, and neither of those 2 times did he go for the bait. And then that time it's Alex, who neither of those times on the fake plant went for it, just kept his head down, kept his position concealed, and then picked the right moment. Go right back for it. So again, really good stuff from Movistar Riders, trusting their gut, sticking to it, not doubting themselves, and that's really good to see. As now Eternal Fire are going to be up against it once more. Movistar Riders have found a formula that allows them to break the deadlock here for themselves in this half. Xantares, okay? Bit of a random spam and it works out. I suppose you'll take it. Any frag is a good frag, but Movistar Riders are going to be left reeling by how much Xantares has woken up a little bit here. And whilst he's in-game leading the squad, it had kind of shown signs of impacting his performance over on Nuke, but this time on Vertigo, especially on this CT side, he has stepped up leaps and bounds.
Good numbers.
Yeah.
And a very important frag as well in a round like this, where you've got a few deagles, you've gone for the force buy. If you don't win this one, your economy is completely broken. Movistar. Now obviously knowing that Xantares has that M4, do we know about Woxic's or probably not? More possible to find Xantares still in position. They're going to try and find more off the back of this. Xantares,
No.
He's going to try and keep on fighting, but gets spammed up. Can't hold the line in the end. 3 on 3, but Woxic still has his AWP. He's going to try and look over the smoke. Trying to try and deny this plant, maybe. Alex off the head. Just about gets away from the AWP shot. And now Alex and Sumpires chiming in for frags galore. It's all onto Woxic. The 1 versus 3. Can he do what Sumpires was doing in this first half and really set his team up? But no. Looks the wrong way, wrong moment, wrong time. And Movistar find 14, and now Eternal Fire's cash is broken. It's probably going to be 15 for the Spanish side here, and series point most likely to come through.
Yeah, huge game for the Movistar Riders as well in this closed qualifier. Every game is huge, as a matter of fact. You're going to put yourself that one step closer to the main event for IEM Fall 2021. And of course, that is also the RMR event as well, which is going to be massively important. For a team like Movistar Riders, imagine having all Spanish representation at the major. That would be incredible for them. What a dream to be realized. Even still, they're not quite there just yet, so the dream will have to just be actualized slightly later on. For Eternal Fire, though, whole Turkish representation dream maybe coming to a grinding halt here shortly. Zantares picks up a flashbang to the eyes, an incendiary in the face of Issa as well. It's just not gone well inside of this round. The lack of weaponry, the lack of utility, more importantly, has spelled absolute disaster for Eternal Fire. Movistar Riders have got such a good read and a wrap on this round before Woxic takes Davik, but even that won't be too instrumental of a frag, I'd imagine, whilst it is a rifle dropped on over. The rest of the team is already ducking over towards the B site, in which they will face only Woxic by way of resistance, who's quickly managed to get his skates on. Scooter his way over here, but he's also going to be burning. That's surely going to be a sound cue. It'll be heard. He's now blinded up as Sun Pius and Imor trade blows.
Calyx on the flank as well, though.
I was going to say, I'm still unsure as to why Movistar haven't made their move yet, because Calyx is coming on in, and now they're going to they need to be aware. He's got a huge wealth of frags in front of him, but can't find it. So thankfully, Dan, they were aware.
There you have it, series point. Movistar Riders 1 round away from IEM Fall 2021. A huge stacked lineup already confirmed for the event, and Movistar want to be a part of that. And now they just need 1 round out the next 6 to try and convert this, and it's Eternal Fire with the full rifles coming through. Decent utility, they've got enough to play with, but it's not perfect. And now Movistar, they have things in the palm of their hands. A beautiful flashbang for Davik, gets there first. Luckily, Issa's there to trade, and he keeps it level 4 on 4. But they need to find an opening in Eternal Fire. They need to give themselves a little bit of breathing room. Zantares is going to do exactly that. Alex can't make it out of the Thunderdome.
It's an interesting place to be, the Thunderdome, I'll tell you that much. Not that I've really been, but I've spectated every now and again.
Yeah.
Movistar Riders in the 3 versus 4 man deficit. Was looking to try and mop up inside of the B site. They're going to make their presence known. They're going to take the assault. They're going to make it move on through. But unfortunately, as the moment, Alex has made his way into the site. Unfortunately for the Eternal Fire side, he's been unable to find a frag. And Mopos has now grabbed Issa. It's all coming crumbling down. Thankfully, Imor able to stabilize the situation somewhat before getting away into the cover of smoke. More damage being distributed back out into Mopos too. Sunfires holds the line with the AWP, and as soon as these smokes dissipate, he's going to be brought right into play. It's just the nature of the beast. The AWP is an inevitability in a post plant. Now Sunpius brought into action by Zantares. 1 versus 2, it's not to be! Mopos gets it done. Movistar Riders go 2-0, and we will see them at IEM 4.
We will be seeing